Surrealist. This is a weird argument. Many artists mistakenly think that models need to be taken only from outside the psyche. That sentence right there plays what role in the argument? What'd you say? Okay. It is the opinion of others. It says many artists mistakenly think. It's telling us what other people think, not what the author thinks. Does anyone want to add to this? Jim?
It's also the conclusion.
Why is it also the main conclusion?
It's saying that opinion is mistaken.
That's right. That one word, mistakenly, takes the opinion of others and turns it into a main conclusion because it says, by the way, they're also wrong. So this right here is the opinion of others and the main conclusion. And the main conclusion is that models don't need to be taken only from outside the psyche. Now, if you sit there and you say, I don't know what the hell is going on here, it helps to pause and think about this for a second. If artists don't need to take models only from outside the psyche sounds like my head, right? Then where else could they come from? Not just outside the psyche. They could also come from inside. And if you can get your mind wrapped around it, that idea, right now, before you read the next sentence is going to make a lot more sense, right? But if you just plow ahead because you're like, I don't know what they're saying, the next sentence is going to be a lot of gobbledygook too. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's the problem. It doesn't make sense, right? Okay. Although human sensibility can confer beauty, human sensibility, like our head, although our minds can confer beauty upon even the most vulgar external objects, ugly things outside the mind. By the way, what was that thing that we just read? Concession. Although we can make things that are outside our minds beautiful, using the power of artistic representation solely to preserve and reinforce objects that would exist even without artists. What objects would exist even without artists? Things outside of our mind, right? Like chairs or whatever, is an ironic waste. In other words, it's a waste to just spend your time artistically preserving things outside the mind. You might want to also preserve things that are inside the mind and would not be preserved even without artists. And now the argument kind of makes sense if you can take time to think about what the first sentence is saying. All right. So what we have here is main conclusion and opinion of others. Then we have a concession. And then what do we have after the comma in that sentence? The ironic waste. Everything after the comma in the second sentence is a premise. Right? So we have 4 parts of an argument in this one. Which one of the following most accurately expresses the conclusion of the argument? Well, it's the first sentence. You don't need to take things from just outside the psyche. You can also take them from within. Answer choice A. An artist's work should not merely represent objects from outside the psyche. They should also be from within. That sounds like the answer. I'd keep it open. The rest of the answers are either going to be other parts of the argument or things that were never said in the argument. Sound good? So answer choice B. Artistic representation is used solely to preserve and reinforce objects. Was this ever said? This was never said, so it's wrong. C. Artists should not base all their work on mere representation. That's like talking about inside and outside the psyche at the same time. It's not distinguishing them. This is wrong. D. Great art can confer beauty even on very vulgar external objects. This was not exactly said, but if it were said, what part of the argument is this? This is the concession, not the conclusion, right? E. True works of art rarely represent objects from outside the psyche. What? The person's not saying you can't go outside, just saying please also go inside, right? Okay. The LSAT likes to talk about artists a lot, probably because it's not controversial. Are you guys okay with this? Are you guys good with answer choice A as being correct? Okay, let's keep going.